What is up, everyone? This is a very impromptu video. I just saw some things on the charts. I actually kind of was taking the day off with crypto today, and I saw, especially Cardano charts, something happening, was digging into Bitcoin charts. I want to just throw it out there as we're in the middle of this. It's really nothing crazy. It's really not much of a dip right now, but there's some really important things I think we need to watch on the charts, Bitcoin and Cardano right now for literally today, the daily candle that we're in, and also for the weekly candle that we're in. So let me break this down. I want to start with Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin. First things first, on the weekly chart. This is where the weekly importance comes in. We talk a lot about moving averages. We talk a lot about the flow of bull market versus bull market, or bull market versus bear market. And with Bitcoin, we're in an uptrend. We're still in an uptrend. Even right now, with a red weekly candle that's happening, we're in this uptrend. Bitcoin putting in a higher low currently from this previous higher low in September, and that was off of this swing low back in July, right? So we're in this uptrend, but Bitcoin testing really key area that it was testing prior in those swing lows, the 20 and 50 week moving average. Back here is the 50-week moving average. Bitcoin, it conquered it, right? It saw support. There's a nice green candle bounce off of that area. With the declining volume with Bitcoin right now on this weekly chart, and just kind of 3 weeks in a row really grappling, and you can see it, the blue line right there. That's the 50-week moving average. Bitcoin grappling with that area. This is a really important week for Bitcoin. We obviously don't want to see Bitcoin break and this is a weekly candle. You can see it on the daily here. We don't want to see Bitcoin kind of fall below all of this area that we've previously seen it. Just, this is like a little over a week ago. We don't want to see this happen, obviously, but there's confluent reasons why that is. I'm going to talk about in a second, but that would be the very, very ugly weekly candle for Bitcoin if that happened. We want to see this weekly candle close above the 50-week moving average, right around 40. It's right around $48,000. That's a big move. So the next 3 days, 22 hours, important for Bitcoin. Bulls kind of need to step in my opinion, for Bitcoin. Now, going to dig into that a little bit, this is where it gets important. This is where it gets dicey. If we're looking at kind of this general vicinity of support for Bitcoin, this is a 786 line of a Fibonacci that we charted. It was kind of a while ago. It's a swing high or swing low to the swing high, all-time high that Bitcoin had. We have a lot of room for Bitcoin to do what it is doing literally right now. It's normal. It's not too worrisome at all in my view, but we're at a very, it's a very thin line right now. Just above this is the range of support, by the way, the higher low support area. It's a Fibonacci 618 right around 51,000, the 786 right around 45,800. Bitcoin is right above that area. So this is where it gets important on the daily chart. Bitcoin to close at the very least above that support area. We want to see continual closes above this very, very key thing, this key area on the charts for Bitcoin. That's another just confluent support area. So 786 right around $45,800 in Bitcoin. It's like hovering right there. What's a little concerning on this Bitcoin daily chart is the fact that it's the battle of the moving averages, right? It's fine to fall below moving averages in moments of consolidation, like we have it. We have the 20-day moving average here falling below the 50-day. That's fine. Kind of starting to flattening out. The 50-day coming in. But when you have a move of Bitcoin getting back above the 20-day moving average, you generally want to see it stay above. You want to see support above it, right? So that would be like support right here for Bitcoin. And then on the shorter term, we're starting to see higher highs and higher lows for continuation. What we don't want to see is we're breaking through it, right? And here's the 20-day moving average. We're breaking through it, and then we're actually falling back up below it again. A good example is back here in that last swing low in September. Bitcoin did break back through it, and it stayed above it. And not only that, it ultimately broke through the 50-day moving average, and it stayed above that as well for quite some time. It got overextended. It was a very, very nice, powerful move for Bitcoin. We're looking for something similar to that. And when we start kind of getting this downward momentum, Bitcoin bulls kind of grappling, right? Really, really hard with the bears. It's obvious on the screen. It's illustrated with these moving averages. So right now, this is what I'm watching on Bitcoin: $45,800 at the 786 of this Fibonacci, and then for the weekly, 48,000. It would be extremely, extremely beneficial to anybody bullish on Bitcoin if Bitcoin would get its way, make its way up above that area. It's not a big move at all for Bitcoin to do that. So it's just Bitcoin's testing key support right now. I think it's very wise to keep an eye on it and anticipate uh, if it falls. Because if it falls, Bitcoin will be putting in new structure here on this daily chart that we have to be very, very mindful of. There's a lot happening here that we have to be careful of, including kind of like an inverse, I'm sorry, a head and shoulders type of setup. Very small right shoulder with an upward neckline. You want to be very careful of that. We could be well into the 30,000s once again if support doesn't hold. So be careful for that. Not trying to make a bearish video, but this is what Bitcoin needs to do right now to get that upside back in play. Going over to Cardano, Cardano, this is kind of what grabbed my attention tonight as I was opening up the charts. And I'll actually start with that. I'll start with this was a video I did 2 days ago, and Cardano was making a nice move to the upside, $1.56 at the time of doing the video. And I'm not going to show a clip here. It's Do you think I like this hoodie? It's 2 days ago I was wearing the same hoodie. That's just great. I'm not going to show a clip, but you can see the speculative inverse head and shoulders that I was talking about in the video. It's a downward sloping neckline, so it's not as bullish as if it was an upward sloping. It's downward sloping, but you can see $1.56 speculative inverse head and shoulders, something to be very aware of and ready for. And here's the chart now. This is the same exact chart that I have here charted on this screen, and this is what it looks like now. You can see Cardano has made its way into a potential right shoulder. Will this hold? This is the question for Cardano, everybody. Will this support hold? So this, number one, this is the speculative. I just kind of drew it, right? That right shoulder right there. What's most important with that right shoulder is literally where Cardano is right now. Cardano fell into a key higher low Fibonacci area. What that is the swing low before Cardano had a nice little short-term blast off to the upside. Swing low to swing high. And it's this. This is what we were talking about. A higher low support, the 618 around $1.35 to the 786 around $1.28. That 786 $1.28 is support for Cardano. Isn't it interesting? Cardano's testing its own little 786 support at the same time Bitcoin is testing its own 786 support on the daily chart. There's a lot of support being tested for these cryptos right now. It's not necessarily a bearish thing, but we have to be extremely aware that support could fail, right? And if that happens, we have fail safes that we look for Cardano. It's definitely, zooming out on the 6-hour chart, it's definitely this lower trend line that Cardano has been kind of just consolidating after this huge dip that it's been in for months, all down here, this lower trend line of this symmetrical triangle that we were talking about on this YouTube channel, right? The setup. We're looking for a move to the upper trend line. If we don't get it, could we be getting a revisit to the lower trend line, a test for Cardano? That lower trend line right now is still a higher low support area. It's not a Fibonacci higher low where we would see a nice bullish bounce and kind of a bullish confirmation bounce off of this area. This would be like a fail-safe support area for Cardano. Now, just pivoting back a little bit though, let's start zooming out on what's going on here. This is from a daily perspective what's important for Cardano. Cardano falling back below the 20-day moving average. We just talked about how we saw Bitcoin get above its own 20-day, and then it's falling below. Cardano doing the same thing. Generally, we want to really see it trade above this moving average after finally breaking back above. This happened in this July swing low. Cardano made its move out of that consolidation finally. It got above this 20-day moving average here, and there was some volatility for a few days, right? And maybe we're getting something similar right now. Maybe we'll get some volatility, but you can see generally Cardano stayed above that green line, the 20-day moving average, ultimately getting that 20-day moving average crossing above right here, this blue line, the 50-day moving average. We're looking for that move here. For that to happen, obviously, Cardano needs to see support and higher highs and higher lows above the 20-day. So, and the 20-day is the green line. Now, there's still 21 hours and 40 minutes left of this daily candle. It's why I wanted to do a video tonight, because these are the things I'm watching. It's going to be really interesting. I can't tell you either way what's going to happen, everybody. This is not financial advice. This is data I'm watching, and I wanted to share it with you. We can watch it together. We can see what's up. So Cardano trading $1.30, 21 hours to get back above the 20-day moving average. If somehow this daily candle turned green and we got a bounce right here off of the 6-hour higher low support, it would be the absolute most bullish thing that could happen for Cardano right now. That would be a very, very bullish thing. But we have to see how this daily candle plays out. We have to be patient with it. Going to the weekly chart, here's where we are. It's not pretty to see the amount of resistance Cardano has seen at this 50-week moving average. This is an area, and right now it's around a dollar. It's right around $1.58, $1.60. Cardano just made its way to that area, and it acted as huge resistance. This is on the weekly chart. In 3 days, 22 hours, can Cardano make a bullish move back up and above that 50-week moving average, the blue line? That's an incredibly important move for Cardano. When all is said and done, nobody knows what's going to happen with these markets. We track this data. We track it so that we can be prepared for upside and downside scenarios. Now, going to the 6-hour chart, the downside scenario would be support fails literally here. Maybe we wake up and we get a very bearish move through even the lower trend line. We wake up tomorrow, we're below $1.20. We're breaking these previous swing lows, and Bitcoin's falling. We have to start anticipating downside targets and a more drastic consolidation for all of these cryptos in this crazy volatile crypto market. So be prepared for downside, everybody. We can watch for these bullish bounces. That's why I did this video the other day talking about this speculative setup. This could be a bullish setup happening right now. You can see if we open up the momentum oscillator on the 6-hour, it has cooled down a lot. Oversold here on the stock RSI, the quicker moving momentum oscillator. There is a lot to be said that Cardano could very, very easily, from right here, start the turnaround. It could start its bounce, and we could put in a right shoulder for a very, very bullish move for Cardano. But we just have to wait and watch it. And this is why we do these speculative videos. This is why we mentally anticipate every scenario. So those are my thoughts. I wanted to do a quick video because these are the things I'm watching. It's going to be very interesting to see what we wake up to tomorrow morning. It could be red. It could be a bullish green bounce. Time will tell. But this is what I'm watching. So I appreciate you coming by. Hit the subscribe. Hit that like. Appreciate each and every one of you. God bless.